Well, hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm making another Make It March video. So I am gonna make tamale pie using home canned products. I've got home canned beef that I did in 2020. I've got home canned enchilada sauce. Now I've already opened a jar, so I'm gonna use this first before I go into the second jar if I need to. I've got home canned kidney beans, yes. Beautiful kidney beans from 2022. I've got from last fall, Cowboy Candied that I canned up. Delicious, showing you a different way to have it. And then I'm gonna add green chilies, some really sweet shoe peg corn, and then I'm gonna make a cornbread topping. The cornbread topping is gonna be adorned with the Cowboy Candy. Oh, and don't forget cheese. I'm gonna be putting cheddar cheese in this. So we're gonna make our meat mixture and with our sauce, and it's gonna be delicious. So come on in. Okay, before I get started, this is what I'm standing on. This beautiful 4 jars, and it's got the 4 jars logo raised up on it, but it's a beautiful mat. It's thick. It is the best by far mat I've ever stood on in my kitchen. I want another one for this side. Anyways, absolutely worth every penny. I hope you go over and look at the 4 Jars website. My link is down below. Again, 10% off your entire order. So go grab it while you can. First thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell you I changed up. I had a little bit left in a jar of salsa. I'm gonna use that about, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup. I am gonna use hot habanero diced tomatoes, rotel. And I think that's the only changes so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the beef. And you can see this beef has mushrooms in it, but it's not gonna change. Nice seal. And I'm gonna drain the broth off into a container. And I'm gonna save that for some rice because I don't need it for this. And actually, if the mushrooms fell in there, that would be okay too. In fact, I'm gonna fish those out. And let's leave the mushrooms and there's onions, which is fine because I don't need to add onions, but I'm gonna fish these mushrooms out and I'll save that for my rice. I'll do a risotto or a rice with this broth. Okay, and that leaves us with a fair amount of meat. Okay. Do I have it? Oh, one more shroom, baby. Don't waste the shrooms, but I don't necessarily need that in my tamale pie. So you're gonna improvise with whatever you have in your pantry that you've canned, and let's carefully get that out of the way. Okay, now that we're spilling everywhere, we're gonna put this down and we will get to the next step. So my meat is drained. It can sit there just the way it is. Okay, I now want to get another bowl. Well, actually I'm not going to. I'm gonna do a roux in my pan and I'm gonna add my enchilada sauce, but the beans I am going to drain. Nice seal. These were 4 jars. Woo! For the win, baby. Okay, I'm gonna drain these beans and rinse them. They've got a lot of that starchy liquid on there, which is fine. I just don't want that in this particular recipe. Okay, I'll be back when I get you over to the stove and we thicken the sauce that's going over the meat. So I put about, I don't know, 1.5 tablespoons of butter down in the pan. We'll get that melting, and once that melts down a little bit, then we can add our flour for our roux, which we want about equal parts of that. And this is so easy, you guys. It's gonna be ridiculously easy. And let's see if I have a tablespoon in here. It doesn't look like I do. So I'm just gonna grab a spoon. And you wanna get that all mixed down. Can you see? I think you can. Okay. We're just gonna heat up because everything is gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna start my oven at 375. Come on. and that way it's preheated. And I'm putting this in a big extra large loaf pan. So let's make our roux here. Let's get some flour down, and you want it all absorbed into the butter. You could use bacon grease if you wanted, or beef tallow, or lard would be fine. Well, a little bit more, because I want this to, you know, this doesn't have anything tamale related, honestly. If I had masa flour, I would use masa flour for this part, only because it would mimic. Now we've cooked off a little bit of that raw, can you see? It's just a paste now. Cook that off for a second. Now we're gonna add our cold enchilada sauce, and this is about a cup. We're probably gonna need more. But I want to thicken this to the point where I feel like it's going to coat the meat and give me a nice layer. So just whisk that in until you get a nice thick sauce, because we don't want it too runny, right? Okay. And then I'm going to add my salsa and my rotel. I love a tomatoey kind of a thing going on. So there's our sauce for our meat. It adds a little bit of extra punch with the spicy salsa and the rotel and the enchilada sauce. Oh my gosh. What great way to use your home canned pantry items. Salsa that you've canned, enchilada sauce that you've canned. This is the perfect consistency of what I want, okay? So I'm just gonna fold the meat in, and we'll take you back over to the layering counter so I can actually make my cornbread, and you can see how that's done. Okay, so I've got my extra large loaf pan. This is, what do they call this? I don't even know. It's big. Put your meat, your cubed meat down in there. Doesn't that look good? And this meat is actually so tender. Look at that fall apart. So if you want your chunks smaller, go ahead and break them up. But I think everybody's gonna wanna dig into a piece of tender meat, right? Now, you could do this with ground beef if you have home canned ground beef. I do not. So I just wanna fill the bottom of the pan. I'm going to fold in very carefully, fold in my my sauce. Oh, and I'm a lefty. Dang it. And the spout's always on the right. So I'm gonna fold my sauce down, because you gotta have some sauce, right? Can you see that? Can you see what I'm putting down? And it's spicy, but not too spicy. And we're gonna even that out. So it won't be too much heat, I don't believe. Maybe there's a few wimpy lippers out there, but I don't. I'm gonna say sorry for your bad luck. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, I hope there's room for cornbread. Okay. Now, oh my goodness, I'm gonna add some of these beans. And this is gonna add some extra protein. And these kidney beans are delicious. I probably don't need the whole jar. I'll save these for a salad, because I don't want to get this so full I don't have room for cornbread. Okay, and then my shoe peg corn, definitely want that in there, a layer of corn, right? And usually I put cream corn into the cornbread. So, alrighty. Oh, yum. Okay, now we're gonna make the cornbread. Are you ready? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Out of the way. And I'll try to make a smaller batch. How's that? I'll make a small batch so I don't have quite as much to deal with. And okay, let's do this. So we'll do, usually, well, you know what? I'm gonna make a full batch, because I can cook off the rest of the cornbread in with in a different container. So I've got 1 or 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and this is the organic stuff I get at Costco. 1 cup of yellow cornmeal. And this is the finer stuff, and I'm not an exact, okay. I'm not, it doesn't matter to me if it's exact. Really, it doesn't, because it's not gonna matter in the end, okay? Okay. Yeah, nobody's gonna complain if I bring in cornbread on top of this. Oh, okay, and this is baking soda. I need baking powder. Okay, I want a little bit of baking soda. About a half a teaspoon. And I want baking powder. I don't know why that didn't come out with the rest of the story. Baking powder, okay? And then salt, and I've got sea salt. So I'm gonna use a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That's gonna give you some leavening. Salt, and we'll do a teaspoon, and this is sea salt. And yet, yeah. There's that. I mix this around, right? And I've got my, oh, yum. Oh, the oven's ready. I preheated the oven to 375. So I'm gonna go ahead with my Cowboy candy, and usually I put honey in my cornbread, especially when I've got something that's sweet and spicy kind of thing. So I may add another jar of Cowboy candy just because I think I should. 1 egg. Okay, and this is a beautiful fresh egg. I just washed it. Yum. Okay, Cowboy candy from 9.22 and using 4 jars, of course. Nice pop. That's so awesome. And I'm gonna use, I wanted a full jar, so I'll use about half of this one. And I'll save, this is my last jar. I will save that for deliciousness. Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of get that mixed. And there's pineapple chunks in there too, so there's a surprise. Okay, now I've got buttermilk. And buttermilk is a must for any kind of, and this is full fat, 3.5. And I'm just gonna add till I get that cornbread batter, if you will. It's not too dry, it's not too wet. Well, it's kind of wet. It's kind of on the wet side. If you still want more sweet, add some honey. I think I'm gonna be fine with the Cowboy candy because it is sweet, and yeah. Okay, mixing this around. And this Danish dough hook, or Danish whisk is my friend. Okay, I still want a little bit more of the buttermilk. It's probably 1.5 cups of buttermilk, easily. If not, yeah, about 1.5 cups. Okay, and it kind of reacts with the baking powder, which is nice. And I think we're ready. You don't want to overmix it. You got some lumps in there, but it's still wet. See, it's nice. It's a nice wet batter, and that's what you want. So I'm gonna top this with it, but I'm gonna put, oh gosh, I'm gonna gild the lily and put some cheese on my, I don't want you to not be able to see this. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see that okay. I always feel like the lighting might be a little off this time of day, but a layer of shredded cheese down on your tamale pie. And I serve this with sour cream and guacamole. Yeah, just a nice little layer. You don't need too much, but maybe a 1/2 cup or so. And then we're gonna get this batter down onto our tamale pie. So we're just gonna top this up. Just grab it. I don't wanna get it mixed in, so I'm just getting big spoonfuls here. It's almost like dumplings. My mouth is watering. It's gonna be so good. And I'm making extra cornbread because who doesn't like that just to have? And then just kind of spread your, without disturbing everything underneath too much. Okay, if you get a thick enough layer, you're good. Okay. Onward we go into the oven. I'll be back when I take it out. I'll let you know how long. 375. Okay, this just came out of the oven and it overran a little bit, which is perfectly expected, right? And I'm letting it cool all the way. I did cover it with parchment halfway through, but we have a brown crust. Let me just tell you, that cornbread is delicious. I can't wait. So we're gonna let this settle and cool and set down a little bit. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna wrap the bottom of this, because where it seeped out, we might have a mess on the bottom of this pan, but I'm gonna wrap it with an additional layer of foil, and we'll get it wrapped up, ready to go. And I will dish up a plate and show you what it takes. So this was in the oven, 375, for about 40 minutes till bubbly and delicious. Okay guys, so this is out of the oven and it's still really hot. I'm not quite ready to cut into it. And it bubbles over. So I put it on parchment paper on a cookie sheet. And so, because the bottom of the pan still has some of that on there, this is how I do it. I then transfer it to a cutting board with foil, and I bring that foil up, and I'm gonna bring it up and over the sides, tuck it, because, you know, if you're taking it somewhere or you're serving it and you want it to be all pretty, well, you don't want the sides all messy, right? And I'm not gonna waste another pan by putting it in another foil pan. So I'm just gonna bring it up and tuck and roll, tuck and roll. That's my trick for, you know, okay, this side, I probably could have used a little bit more on this side. But now it's ready to transport and I have a clean bottom. See what I'm saying? So I already tasted the cornbread. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful. Beautiful, sweet, with honey and butter. It's decadent. This has the sauce in there. I let the cornbread get a little more brown on it, but it's every bit as delicious. And I'm gonna top this with some sour cream. So I'm gonna let this cool just a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna bring you in and let you see a taste test. So don't forget, leave a comment in all the videos for Make It March. Lisa has a giveaway. She's giving away a pressure canner and 4 jars. Our 4 jars fabulous family is giving away 2 gift baskets and gift cards. And let me just tell you, I'm standing on an anti-fatigue mat. I will show you a short clip about that. Go down in the About section, hit more, and I have a link for you. You can go over there and look at those mats. It's the best anti-fatigue mat I've ever stood on. And you can go in there and put Linda's Pantry, no apostrophe, all capital letters in the promo code, and get 10% off your entire order. So you could get a mat and canning lids at a premium price with top-notch quality. I'm unsurpassed. I've never had lids this good in the last, I don't know, 4 years. So that's my spiel on that. 4 jars, thank you for sponsoring, and we appreciate you very much. All right, and I appreciate Lisa and all of the participants which will also be down in the description box below. I'll have links to all their channels. Please go watch them and leave a kind comment in their comment section so you get entered to win. And we know you've watched and you're getting to collect these recipes using all of these home canned things. You know, once we can it, what do we make with it? Well, we make it just like this. All right, I'll be right back. Let me show you the map first. Okay, I think it's time. I'm just gonna cut into this. So you're gonna pop right through that crust. And this is so, decadent. And pull that up and look. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is exactly what you want. You want cornbread, you want the beans. I forgot about the beans. You want the beans. Okay, I'm not taking any more out of there because I don't want to rob from that side to fill this side. In fact, this should go back in. Get back over there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so it's not going to set up completely, but I am going to get a little bit of a dollop of some sour cream right there on top. And then I can just like do my taste test, right? Okay, let's do a little dollop and let's get a picture. I'm gonna get a picture of this, clean it up a little bit, get a picture, and then it should be cool enough for me to eat. Okay, so doesn't that look good? Oh my gosh. And I just put a little cilantro for garnish, but I want to taste this. I'm super excited about this. I forgot about the beans. I have the beans in there too. You get a little nibble of sour cream. Yeah, it's got some heat, some cornbread, and beef. Okay, so let's get that little piece of beef there. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. This is comfort food. It has oh my gosh. And the cowboy candy and the cornbread is such a sweet, tangy surprise. This is comfort food, and it really has nothing to do with tamales. I'm not sure why it got named that, but you can do this several ways. We've done it out camping with cans of chili and adding, what did we add? We added 2 cans of chili and some ground beef and onion and some cornbread topping, and we had tamale pie. It was so easy to do out there, and yeah, oh yeah. And the shoe peg corn is sweet. I love it. I love it so much, and I hope it inspires you to use your home canned food and make it your own. Change this up any way you like. If you have, let's say you have ground beef in your pantry, or you have ground turkey, or you want to use fresh. This is a recipe you can do from fresh too. You can change this any way you like, but make it March. Thank you, Lisa, for hosting this and inviting me to be a part of it. I so appreciate it. It's another way for you to use your cowboy candy. And let me just tell you, your family will thank you. Delicious, hearty, and none of that is going to waste. Let me just tell you. It's not staying here, but none of it's going to waste. And go down, look at all the channels. Absolutely put your name in the hat by leaving a comment on everybody's video and letting them know that you are watching, and give them some watch time. That's all we're asking. We're giving you free content, so give us some watch time, thumbs up, and a comment, and we'll be back next time for another delicious recipe. That is phenomenal. I think I'm gonna slice up some green onions. good too. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.